So we'll just take a moment of centering. In whatever comfortable position feels right for you. And we'll start out with a poem by Melody Beattie, or reading, I should say. And as I read it, maybe just checking in with the breath, just closing the eyes and just noticing how the body's doing this morning. And it's just kind of scanning from head to toe, noticing areas of tightness or tension, tiredness, the 3 T's. And then just taking a moment to notice places that feel good, that feel soft and relaxed. Too often, out of sheer habit, we tighten up, tense up, both physically and emotionally. We often approach life from that tense stance, with our shoulders and neck strained, back and shoulders hunched over and forward, torso cramped and tightened, and our breath shallow. But life can be more ease-filled if we're more relaxed, physically. In our yoga practice, we program our body, each part of it, to let go and be at ease, to get comfortable in the uncomfortable, to breathe through any discomfort. We can learn to consciously relax the body and breathe until moving, speaking, and thinking all come naturally from this more relaxed place. Using mindful breathing or pranayama, we can activate the relaxation response in the nervous system, training our bodies and minds to soften, to relax, and let it all go. So now, as you scan around the body, visualizing warmth and ease flooding any part of the physical body that feels tight, blocked, in pain, or in need of healing. Visualize it softening, releasing. Let the tension and the stress release. Let it melt and drain out of the body on an exhale. Rest here in the breathing body. Let the thoughts pass out of the present moment as you relax into the breath. Breathing into your mind, into each cell of the body. Breathe out stress, strain, and discomfort. Relax, restore, and rejuvenate. So as we get started, we'll just hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side, lying on our back. Just notice how the low back is feeling this morning. And maybe just rocking side to side. Little gentle massage for the lumbar spine, for the low back. Maybe circling the knees here. So hands can be on the knees, or you can stretch the arms out nice and wide. And use that core a little bit more, pulling the belly button down to the spine and circling in both directions here. And now finding your block, or maybe you have a small pillow that you could use, and obviously, optional if it doesn't feel right for you. But we're going to try and put the block or the pillow between our knees. So we're going to concentrate on starting out with a little bit of core work here. So I'm squeezing the block with my legs or squeezing the pillow. So I'm working the muscles on the inner thighs. And then I'm going to clasp my hands back behind my head. And the whole time I do this, I'm going to make sure my belly is pulled down to the spine. And I'm anchoring my back to the floor. So I don't want to curve and arch up off the floor. Keeping that back nice and flat. Hugging the legs together. And I'm just going to tap the toes down to the floor and then hug the knees back in. Tap the toes down. Hug the knees in. A few more times here. Exhaling when I curl the knees into the chest. And inhaling as I tap down and my toes and my touch the floor and my belly is open, torso is open. So breathing in as I tap down, exhale, hug the knees in. A few more times here. So if you don't have a pillow or a yoga block, you can still do this, just using the legs. Exhaling, hugging the knees in. Inhaling when the torso is long and open. And then we'll come back down onto our backs and remove the block or the pillow. And we're just going to come into a little inversion here. So starting out in bridge pose. My feet are about hip width apart. That's maybe 6 inches for ladies and about 8 for men. And then just lifting up the hips off the floor. And then your choice. Your arms can be along your side. You can grab the outer edges of the mat. Maybe you can clasp the hands underneath the back. Just kind of draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Bridge pose. Pushing down into my feet, turning on all the muscles in my thighs. And then exhale, releasing down. So we'll do a few rounds of flowing bridge here. The next time I lift up, I'm going to also inhale the arms overhead. So lifting the hips up to bridge, inhaling arms back, exhaling, coming back down to the floor. Again, breathing in, lifting up, and exhale, release down. Breathing in, lifting up to bridge. Exhale, release down. Maybe the eyes are closed here. And again, breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out as you release down. And now we're going to find a block or a pillow. We're going to lift the hips and we'll slide the block underneath the tailbone. So all the way down, not in the curve of the back, but all the way down at the bottom of the spine. So it's almost going to be really in the glute area. And then one by one, we're going to lift those legs up into the air. And we'll start out just pointing and flexing. Circling the ankles. Just kind of lubricating the ankle joints here. And then we're just going to flutter the legs. Just shake everything out a bit. Maybe the arms can cup up in the air as well, just shaking. Just let everything go. So we're letting all the excess fluid from the lower body drain back to the center of the body in an inversion. Lymphatic fluid. Everything coming back to the center. And then just hold it here. Close the eyes. And notice any sensations in the fingertips and the legs. Notice the breath here. And we'll come into a little stretch for the hip flexors, the front of the hip. So I'm going to just hug my left knee into my chest, and then nice and slow with my belly drawn down to the spine, I'm going to flex my right foot, and I'm going to lower my right leg down towards the floor. Nice and slow, moving mindfully. And then I'm going to let that leg just hover just an inch or two off the floor. And then I'm going to let that right heel relax down. Right leg is relaxed down, getting a little stretch through the front of that right hip. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll hug the right knee into the chest. And then I'll extend my left leg up in the air, flexing that left foot, and nice and slow, lowering the left leg down. And when I get down close to the floor, I'll let that left leg just hover a few inches off the floor. Close the eyes, take a few breaths here, and just notice any sensations in the front of the left hip, or maybe going down that left thigh, the quadricep muscle. And then relaxing the left leg down, letting that heel come to the floor. Take a breath or two here. And then release, hugging both knees into the chest. And then both feet come flat on the floor. We'll lift the hips up in the air, slide that block off to the side, and then release back down, hugging both knees into the chest. Rock side to side, see how the low back feels. We're in a little back bend there. And I will come to happy baby from here. So I'm going to bring my feet up into the air. And I'm going to reach for my two big toes. You can also reach the outside of the feet. You can reach for the inner heels. Or the hands can be back behind the knees. So a lot of options here. Find your happy baby. See if you can get that tailbone nice and flat on the floor. So we don't want the back rolling up. Keep it down. The spine is long and flat. And then if it feels good, rocking side to side, closing the eyes. And just noticing how the body's feeling this morning. And now from here, we'll find our strap. We're going to stay on our back for a few more minutes. And we're going to hook both legs up into the strap. I'm just going to check and make sure everybody is hearing me okay. Okay, great. So we'll start out with a little hamstring stretch. Both legs are up in the air. And for any new people joining, if you don't have a yoga strap, maybe you have a bathrobe belt that you could use. You could use a dog leash. You could tie two neckties together, men's neckties. So let's start just rocking side to side. Both feet are up in the strap. And we're just gently using the strap for leverage, drawing the legs a little bit closer. And then rocking side to side, massaging the lowest part of the spine. And then maybe making some circles while we're here. Drawing little circles on the ceiling. Circle it the other direction. And then while you're here, maybe some mindful breathing. Maybe the eyes are closed and we can quiet down the senses a bit. Just breathe in and out through the nose. Noticing the breath in the belly. And then we'll come back to center. We'll open those legs to a nice big wide V. I'm just going to switch my mat so you can see a little bit better. So inner thigh stretch, lying on our back. Let's see if we can flex our feet here. Bringing the toes to the nose. And your V can be smaller and modest, or it can be big and wide. And maybe you can rock side to side. A little gentle rocking motion to help relax the nervous system. Closing the eyes, take a few breaths here, in and out through the nose. Feel the rise and the fall of the belly. And then just hold it in place. Feel free to keep a little bend in the knees. Relax the shoulders down on the mat as much as you can. Soften the jaw and all the muscles of the face. Just kind of scanning from head to toe and finding places where you can let go a bit and relax a bit. Even in the knees, a tiny bend in the knees. Two more purposeful breaths here, in and out through the nose. And then we'll bring those legs back together in the strap. We're going to do our figure 4 stretch next. So I'm going to start with my right foot. Left foot stays in the strap. Right foot crosses over at the knee. So it's just above the knee, between the knee and the hip. And I'm using the strap for leverage. And of course, if you don't like to use the strap for this, you could just clasp those hands back behind the left thigh. Otherwise, you're using that strap to help draw the left leg in closer to the body. My right elbow is gently pushing my right knee away to deepen the stretch. And then again, I'm checking in, I'm making sure my tailbone is nice and flat on the floor. And I'm just gently rocking side to side. Now I'll make some circles with that left leg. Circling in both directions. And then just holding it here for 3 breaths. Finding places to relax, softening the jaw. Trying to relax the shoulders. And then I'm going to release that right leg. I'm going to stretch it out nice and long. Strap is in my left hand. My left leg will open to the left. I'm going to flex that left foot. My right leg is just relaxing down on the ground. You can have the strap in 2 hands, or that right hand can be resting on the right hip, or maybe you have that right arm stretched out to a T with the palm face out. We're going to cross the body now. Left leg comes back through center. I'm switching the strap into my right hand. And then that leg will cross to the right side of the room. This time I'll come into a little twist. I'll stretch my left arm out. My left palm is facing up. And then if it's okay for the neck, you can turn the head to that left hand. See what you feel in that outer left hip here. And then releasing back to center. So I'm going to put the right foot back into the strap to meet the left, so I have both legs there, and now I can switch. Figure 4 on the other side, taking my left leg out, crossing it over my right knee. So again, maybe rocking left to right. Maybe making some circles with that right leg. Or maybe it's enough to just hold it still. Checking in, scanning the body, and finding places to let go and relax. Softening the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. Three more breaths here. And now releasing that left leg, stretching it out nice and long, letting that left leg relax down onto the floor. Right leg opens to the right. Stretching out the inside of that right leg, flexing that right foot. And then switching sides, coming through center with the right leg. Strap is now in my left hand, and my right leg will cross the body to the opposite side of the room. To come into a little twist here, stretching that arm out to the right, turning the head to face that right hand. And take a few breaths here. Outer right hip stretch. And then come back to center. We'll release the strap, drop it off to the side, and just rolling onto your left side. So we've been down for a few minutes. Just rolling onto your left, giving your body a chance to adjust. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way up to all fours. Up to hands and knees, nice and slow. I'm just going to check on everybody. Okay, so starting out with some cat-cow. Just gently waking up our back here. I'm pulling my belly button up to my spine. I'm inhaling into a little back bend. And then exhale, curling under. Inhaling into a back bend. Exhale and curling like a Halloween cat. So a few more rounds here. Moving at your own pace. And letting your breath be your guide. Rather than the mind telling the body when to move, let your breath lead you. And when you're ready to exhale, then you curl and arch the back. And when your body is ready to inhale, then coming into a little back bend. And then coming back to a nice flat back, we're going to start out sending the left leg back. I'm going to keep the toes on the floor to start. Kind of tucking those toes under and stretching out down by the Achilles and the calf especially. So we'll work on a little strengthening here. I'm going to make sure I'm pulling my belly button up to the spine. I'm going to lift that left leg off the floor, coming into a little bit of a balance, extending the right arm out. So opposite arm and leg. And then I'm going to bring my right arm back down to the floor. I'm going to bring my left leg out to the side, out to about 9 o'clock on my mat. Holding that leg up, we're strengthening the hip. And now swinging that leg back across to the opposite side to maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. So we're stretching the IT band here. I'm going to put my left toes on the floor, pushing the left heel away. So we're stretching up the left side of the body. And then coming back again. Left foot comes out, working on strength. Flexing that left foot off the floor. And then bringing it back. Coming into the stretch. Left toes are on the floor, pushing the left heel away. One more time on this side. Left leg comes all the way over to about 9 o'clock. Holding it up. And then swinging back around. Maybe you look over that right shoulder and find the left foot there. And then releasing back to all fours, cat-cow again. Just kind of neutralizing the spine. Breathing in and out. And noticing any differences right now that you might sense between the left hip and the right hip. And then coming back to a flat back, pulling the belly up to the spine. We'll send the right leg back this time. Just getting a little stretch at first, pushing that heel away, the toes are tucked under, and then we'll lift that right leg up in the air, coming into the balance. We're working on core here, extending that left arm forward. We're strengthening the muscles in the low back. Breathing in and out through the nose. And now my left hand will come down to the floor. My right leg will come over to about 3 o'clock, holding that right leg up in the air, strengthening the outer right hip, and then crossing the body. Now my foot will come over to maybe 7 or 8 o'clock, looking over my left shoulder and finding my right foot there, pushing that right heel away, breathing into the stretch in the outer right hip. And now coming back, we'll do it 3 times. Right leg comes out to about 3 o'clock, hold it up, belly's drawn up, and then release, crossing over. Stretching it out, breathing in and out through the nose. One more time, right leg comes over, holding that leg in the air, strengthening, and then last time, stretching the IT band, coming all the way across with that right foot, looking over the left shoulder, the right foot. And then coming back to all fours, pulling back to child's pose here. Catching your breath, maybe circling the wrists here, or shaking them out. We're up on our hands for a bit. So giving the wrists a break. And then we're going to come to a child's pose. If you're in wide knee child's pose, maybe bringing the legs together. And just stretching it out. We'll do a little stretch for the low back. So my arms are reaching forward and active. And I'm going to walk my hands over to the right. So while I'm here, I'm going to come up onto my left fingertips, just like I had a little cupcake underneath that left hand, and I don't want to squish it. So my left arm is really active, and I'm just going to check in with the stretch in the left low back, and I'm going to trace the muscles up the left side of my body. And then I notice that my shoulders are tensed and they're scrunched by my ears. So I'm going to try and soften my shoulders and relax the jaw and the muscles in my face. And then walking those hands across to the opposite side now. So hands come over to the left. And again, I'm up on my fingertips. My arms are active here. So you find where you feel that it's right as far as you want to go over to the left. For some people, they may be over about 11 o'clock. Some people may be over a little bit farther, towards 9 or 10 o'clock. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. And take a breath or two here. And then releasing back to center. We'll come back up onto all fours, tuck the toes, and lift up. Downward facing dog. So see if you can bring those heels down towards the floor. For some people, the heels will touch. For others, we're just working the heels towards the floor. You can keep a little tiny bend in the knees if this feels like it's too much. And then just walking your dog here. I'm just going to check the screen. Bending opposite knees. Nice and slow. Great. And now coming into a three-legged dog, we're going to inhale and lift that left leg up in the air. Pull the belly into the spine here, breathing in and out through the nose. And then exhale, left leg comes down. Switching sides, inhale, right leg lifts up. Big stretch, big strength. And then exhale, right foot comes down. We're going to bend the knees, nice deep bend. And I'm going to walk my hands back to my feet. So we're going to come into a little forward fold here before we make our way up, all the way up to stand. Nice and slow. Coming up. Take your time. We'll start out with a few rounds of breath. Standing up. Inhaling both arms up overhead. Then exhale the arms down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, sun breath. All the way down. Inhale, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, release down. You can bend the knees. Come all the way up to stand. Inhale the arms up, palms together. Exhale, lowering the hands in front of the heart. Close your eyes for 3 breaths here. Checking in, finding the heartbeat. Feel that energy moving in the body. And again, sun breath. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, coming down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, come all the way up, breathe in. Palms together and lower the hands in front of the heart. Close the eyes for 3 breaths. In and out through the nose. One more time, sun breath, inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, come all the way up, breathe in, palms together. Exhale the hands down in front of the heart, close the eyes. And then opening the eyes, release the hands. We'll come a little bit wider in our stance. And we'll just start swinging side to side here. Just some gentle twisting. We let those arms tap the side of the body and stimulate the kidneys. You could come a little bit deeper. You can let that heel come off the floor. You could bring a little bit of a bounce to it. Pick up the heart rate, bending the knees. Little gentle twist. Maybe the heart rate's picking up a bit, just noticing. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then nice and easy, slowing it down. Coming back to center. And we'll come to mountain pose. So feet are hip width apart. Bring those shoulders up and roll them back down. Palms face front, close the eyes. Take a few breaths and just checking in with the sensation of the breath in the body. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. And then as you're ready, opening the eyes, and we'll work a little bit on some standing balance. So I'm going to just back up a bit. Feel free to use a wall if you have your wall nearby. We're going to go from tree pose to dancer pose. So let's start rounding that left foot. Right foot comes into tree. So your right foot can stay on the floor the whole time. This can be your tree. Your right foot can come up to the calf or above the knee as well. So choose your tree, pulling the belly into the spine. And then whatever arms work for you. Could have goddess arms, could have tree arms, or arms can be out to the side helping you balance. Whatever arms work for you. You could even bring those palms together overhead. Pulling the belly in. And then from here, we're going to come to dancer pose. So if you need to take a break in between, feel free. So I'm just going to turn sideways to show you, coming from my tree. So we'll bring the arms down to start. And then my right hand is going to reach back for that right ankle. I'm pulling my belly into the spine. And then I'm going to extend that left arm up. So this could be it for you. This could be your balance. If you want to come a little bit deeper, we'll start leaning forward and kicking back that right leg. Finding that focal point straight ahead at eye level, the drishti. Kicking back into that hand. So feel free to use the wall. And then when you're ready, come on out. Let's shake it out. We'll do 3 breaths here. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Again, breathe in. You can close the eyes. And breathe out. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold, sun breath. Swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Bend those knees and come all the way up. Breathe in, palms together. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. Take 3 breaths here. And then releasing the arms, opening the eyes. We'll switch sides. So this time, grounding that right foot to come into tree. That left foot, remember, can stay on the floor the whole time if you're keeping your practice very gentle. Left foot can be on the calf, or left foot can be above the knee. So pick your pose, whatever arms work for you. You can have prayer hands in front of the heart. You can have hands on the hips. Your body, your practice. Balancing here in tree. I'm looking straight ahead at eye level. So if I look up, my head is going to tip back and the weight of my head will pull me back. If my gaze is down, my head will be pulling me forward and I'm more likely to fall out. So when we keep that gaze straight ahead, the spine is long and straight. We pull the belly in to help us balance. So we're going to make our way next to dancer. You can feel free and break in between. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. So here I am in tree. I'm reaching back for that left ankle. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is where your balance is going to be today for tree pose. Maybe you can extend that right arm up. Take a few breaths in and out through the nose. And then if you're coming into your full dancer pose, we'll start to kick back with that left foot. Pull the belly into the spine, don't forget. Protect the low back, help you to balance. Few breaths here, in and out through the nose. If you fall out, you could just start again. And then nice and slow, coming back out. Releasing that leg, coming back, just shaking it out, roll those shoulders out. Sun breath, my feet are hip width apart. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Bend those knees all the way up. Breathe in, palms together. Lower the hands in front of the heart. Take 3 breaths here. And then releasing the hands, opening the eyes. So our next pose, we're going to do Warrior 1 into Warrior 3, just so you know where we're headed. So I'm going to start stepping my right foot forward and big step back with that left foot. So Warrior 1, my back heel is going to be on the floor, as you know. If it's hard for you to balance, you can try and kind of widen your stance a little bit. So it makes it a little bit more easy to balance for you. So if you notice that right now your body and your hips are facing over a little bit to the left, see if you can turn and square and face your screen straight ahead. Bending into the front right knee, Warrior 1. Inhaling those arms up. So we're stretching down the front of that left hip. Maybe you feel stretched down the back of that left leg. We're bending into that front right knee. You could come into a little back bend here, clasping the hands back behind the head, if that feels safe. Pulling the belly into the spine. And now we're going to come forward for 3 breaths. Exhaling forward over that right knee. Inhaling up into warrior 1. Exhale forward over that front knee. One more time, breathe in. And this time as you come forward, we'll move to warrior 3. So I'm going to bring my arms out to airplane. I'm going to start coming off my back toe and then lifting that back leg into the air. I'm going to check and make sure that my left toes are pointing straight down to the floor. I'm going to relax my shoulders and my jaw and pulling the belly into the spine. Nice and slow, releasing back out to warrior 1. Big inhale. And exhale down. Stepping out, shaking everything out. Roll the shoulders back. 3 breaths here. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale, swan dive into your sun breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, come all the way up. Palms together. Lower the hands in front of the heart. Close the eyes. 3 intentional breaths here. Hitting that reset button before we switch sides. And then opening the eyes. Left foot will step forward, coming into warrior 1. So I'm going to shimmy my right leg back. My right heel is connected to the floor. I'm going to turn and face front and square my hips straight ahead. Bending into that front left knee. I'm going to make sure that knee stays directly over that left ankle. So I'm not coming forward too far with that left knee. Warrior 1. Finding your arms. Again, if you wanted to do a back bend, you could clasp the hands back, draw the shoulder blades together, or you could try clasping the hands back behind the body, lifting and opening the heart. It's okay for your neck, lifting the chin up, opening the throat chakra, the heart chakra. That's it. Releasing those arms. We'll start flowing up and down. So I'm inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding over that front knee. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, folding over. Big breaths in and out through the nose here. Breathing in. And exhale. As I come forward this time, I'm going to bring my arms back to airplane. I'm going to come onto the toes, my right foot, and then coming to warrior 3. So your choice of arms, you can have airplane arms. Arms can be alongside the body. Hands together in front of the heart. Most challenging, arms outstretched. Not recommended if you have any issues in the low back. Nice and easy, stepping back, warrior 1. Big breath in. And exhale down. Stepping out again. Just shake everything out. 3 breaths here. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Maybe closing the eyes here. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, sun breath. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold back down. Bend the knees, come all the way up. Breathe in, palms together. And breathe out, 3 breaths here. In and out through the nose. Just noticing what's happening, where you feel the energy moving in the body, prana. And then releasing those arms. We'll do a little bit of just a really gentle side lean stretch. So my feet are hip width apart. Inhaling both arms up overhead. My left hand is going to reach for the right wrist, and I'm going to lean to the left. So I'm stretching all the way down the side of the body here. I'm pulling my belly into the spine. So you can stay here in the stretch. If you want, you can bring that right foot out, up onto that right toe, make it a little more challenging. Or you can lift that right foot off the floor, come into the balance. Pulling that belly button into the spine the whole time. Come back to center, release, exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, come all the way up. Breathe in, palms together. And exhale, lower down in front of the heart. Switching sides. Inhale, both arms up. This time, right hand will reach for the left wrist. First, I'll reach straight up for the sky and get the left side of the body long. Then I lean into it. Leaning right. So that left arm can be a little bit bent here. See if you're kind of like looking forward. And notice if you can turn and open the heart to the sky. Just kind of opening up. And then again, you can stay here, or left toes can come out to the side, pulling the belly in the whole time, and then maybe coming into the balance. Nice and easy. Release back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Let everything hang here. Shake the head. Yes and no. And bend the knees. Come all the way up to stand. Roll those shoulders back and down. And we're going to make our way back down to sit now. Taking your time. And we're going to come into a wide-legged stretch. So opening those legs up to a V. Whatever feels right for you. Your V may be very modest. It may be big and wide. So we're going to come just into a little forward fold to start. Inhaling both arms up. And then exhale. The hands come down to the floor. And you walk those hands wherever it feels right for you. For some people, they'll be just up here. For some people, you can go halfway. Some people can come all the way forward. Your body, your practice, do what's right for you. So you have a stretch, but no pain or strain. Close the eyes and take a few breaths here. And then we'll just walk those hands over to the right. So my hands are on either side of my right foot. And then walking the hands across through center and over to the left. And then walking the hands back to center, coming back up to sit. I'm going to bring the bottoms of my feet together, Baddha Konasana. My hands are just above my ankles. I'll take a deep breath in. And then exhale, just coming forward a little bit. And I'm going to think about keeping my spine really straight and long here. So just noticing if the chin is down on the chest, can you lift that chin off the chest and see if you can imagine making a diagonal straight line with your spine. Maybe the hands the arms are gently pushing down to the inner thighs here, stretching out the inner thighs and the outer hips. And then nice and slow, coming back up. And we're going to make our way back down onto our backs. So you can come just flop down if you're tired. You want to do a Pilates roll down, pulling that belly button into the spine, arms reach forward, and nice and slow, making your way down onto your back. When you get there, stretch everything out, big and long. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, hug both knees into the chest, rock side to side. Notice how the back is feeling now that we're winding down. And then bringing those feet flat onto the floor, knees stay bent, bringing the feet to the outer edges of the mat, windshield wiper those legs side to side. Just kind of releasing everything here. Maybe the arms are stretched out nice and wide with the palms face up. And we'll let those legs just kind of drop over to the left. Coming into a little twist. Maybe the head turns towards that right hand, close the eyes. Take a few breaths. And then again, windshield wiper side to side, releasing everything. Dropping those legs over to the right. Turning the head towards that left hand, little twist. And then coming back to center, hugging both knees into the chest. And if there's any final stretch or pose that you feel like doing, feel free. You could do another happy baby if that felt good. Otherwise, we'll just take a moment here to come into relaxation. So whenever you're ready, whatever that looks like for you, whether you're stretched out nice and long, or you have the feet flat on the floor with the knees bent. Find a comfortable position. Just close the eyes. Just for a moment. Letting everything go. Programming our body, each part of it, to let go and be at ease. Visualizing warmth and ease, letting any part of the physical body that feels tight or that's gripping, visualize it softening, releasing, like snow melting into the warm ground. Let the tension and stress release. Let it melt and drain out of the body on the exhale. Now starting to slowly waken, wiggling fingers and toes and circling the wrists or the ankles. Stretching out if that feels good, or hugging the knees into the chest and rocking side to side if that feels good. And then nice and slow, rolling onto the left side and just kind of pausing on the left. Lying on our left maximizes the blood flow to the heart and to the brain so we don't get dizzy when we get up. And then coming back up to sit in your own time. And bringing both hands on the heart. And we'll take a few final breaths here. And closing our practice with the loving kindness meditation. May you be healthy in body and mind. May calm and peace surround you. And may you live with ease. And namaste.